Welcome. I am Crime Queen, and if you are joining us for the first time, it's the channel where we have fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. This is where we are actualizing self-love with the use of words, not just words, but references from Genesis of chapter 1 and 2. Yes, and in case you have watched similar presentations with my announcement, yes, we have got 14 gods in Genesis. Now, of course, 1 plus 4 is 5, which is central to our template right here. So we are talking about numerology. We are talking about the sacrifice. Now, this is the sacrifice, or this had been derived or design from the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, but it is seeming that this is a requirement for everyone. Everyone needs to do that sacrificial journey. You need to, it seems like, in fact, I will say not seem like, we all are required to have that journey. It's not just about a man who had died on a cross or been crucified on a cross to save our souls, and so we can just about live as we choose. Although there might be, in some cases, I would say, perhaps it does not. I'm going to retrieve that. Perhaps it does not apply to everyone, but I am believing that it does. I am believing that it does apply to everyone to die or to sacrifice the carnal elements or chakras of our bodies, our minds, our beings, our spirits. I am believing that we are required to do like Paul says. You know, Paul had this thing, he says, I die daily. He was trying to get to a better state and higher state of being. And I am believing right now, as in the word Christ equals 5, like Mother Eve equals 5, I am believing that's what we are required to get to that position. I think I need to get my feather this time. Yeah, okay. To get that position, we are 6. We go through 3 cycles here. Of course, there are cycles on top of cycles. That's what I have discovered. But there are 3 like cycles that are being presented to us at this stage. Now, what is crucial before I go on too much further is that, as I say, I have discovered 14 gods. And there are 9 of those gods in Genesis of chapter 1. It would seem like these are the 9 gods that we really need to master to be able to fully enjoy the other gods. I say to really, or the other gods in Genesis chapter 2. I don't remember exactly which verse, but in chapter 2, we have 5 gods, and those 5 gods seem to represent earth, fire, water, air, and ether. So I am believing that they are instrumental as our 5 senses, as our 5 senses, as in that which even adds to the word pineal gland, pineal gland, meaning that when we add the pine and gland, pineal and gland together, we do get the number 5. Now, gland is actually 2 or 20, I believe. Let's just do that to ensure that we are doing this correctly. I'm looking for my brush. Okay, I'm going to use hand right now. Okay, so gland, G-L-A-N-D. So this is 4, 5, 1, 3, 7. Hope you can see this. Yes. So this is 9, 12. So 9, 10, 19, 20. So we have 2. Now 20. Of course, if you follow any of my presentations on Sarah, I was always concerned about why would God have changed Sarah's name where she was 21 and gave her a lesser value to be 20. Of course, 20 is rock. Oh, we've got a brush on here. How good. Wonderful. All my needs and desires are met before I even ask. That's one of my favorite affirmations, actually. Yes. So we have rock, R-O-C-K. This is 2, 3, 6, 9. So this is 15 and 5, 20. We also have south, S-O-U-T-H. When we do 8, 2, 3, 6, 1. When we add this together, this 8 plus 2, 10, and 9, 19 plus 1, 20. So we see when Christ said to Peter, upon you I will build my rock, meaning church. So we could see how 2, this is the power of 2. The power of 2, and which is partnership, marriage, and so on. Now, I want to, these presentations are going to be a bit concentrated until we really sort of, oh, battery is getting low. So my battery is getting low right now. So I'm going to wrap up this presentation. Let's just see. Let's do this and see what we can fine tune on here. But basically, I wanted to show how the 14 gods that comes up to 5 also is Christ, also is Eve, also is the 5 oceans, and I've done all of those. But I also wanted to say the number 2 actually coincides with the planet Pluto, and I wanted to talk a bit more on Pluto. You can watch my other presentations on that, which I'm not sure what I'm going to call them yet, but they're about the 14 gods. So anything you see with gods of Genesis, in fact, I had been doing them as hidden numbers in Genesis. But of course, I may have to, so you can find it around that and put another word that will highlight the nature of this. So the other thing is that Pluto, of course, is that dwarf planet that had been rejected. And I'd like to mention now that I had done the numerical value for Pluto. And it equals 20. Pluto equals 20. So Pluto. So it's 6, 2, 3, 3, there are 2 3s, and 7, of course. So this is 8 and 10, 18, 19, 20, 21. Have I got this right? Okay, so this is 21, then it would be, yes, I have got it right. So this is 10, 15, 20, 21. So Pluto is, yes, 21. So do excuse me, it's number 3. But I am also believing that 3 is really ready to give us that vibration. And as you can see that it has this 2 aspect to it anyway, so there is the 2 in the 3. In fact, it does remind me the number 2, the word 2. The word 2 is perhaps 3 as well in word form. So this is 5. I'm just doing this quickly here. So that's 11, 12, 13. So 13, actually, it still comes under 2, which is perhaps the point I really wanted to make. So Pluto comes under, this is very, very interesting. This is going to be like major discovery in a sense of understanding the enormous message that this is bringing. Pluto is going to come here. Pluto is going to come under the 2 column right here. When we have the 13, this is the 13 where, of course, representing, mirroring the sacrifice, the Last Supper. This is very interesting. So Pluto is actually mirroring all the aspects, or would have all the characteristics of the other planets to some extent. That's what I am believing is happening. To have that relational connection with the other planets. Because it comes to 13. This is really major. Now, why I am saying that, as I have said, and I'll probably continue to say for a long while into these presentations, that I am one of 14 children. So there would be the 13. The 13, so the 13 would be Christ and the disciples. But remember, of course, the crucifixion would mean that Christ had died to show mankind how to be saved. He says, where I am, there you may be also. And Paul and the disciples says, well, you know, we have got to understand that we need to follow the same path or the same route that Christ did. He had come to show us how. So when he comes back, he's not really coming back, you could say, as the Jesus Christ. He comes as the Savior. Now, of course, the word Savior or have our in it, save our. So Pluto is also part of this owl. Let's just do this quickly. S-A-V-I-O-U-R. I think this is British, and there's different to the American. So the British also have the U here to remind us that you are part of that. So Pluto, and of course Pluto has P-L-U. Pluto has the U as well to remind us that we are part of this. So again, 6, 2, 3, 7, 10 and 8 is 18. Huh. What have I got? Pluto. 10 and 8. Oh, that's 6 and 2, Pluto. So have I been, well, I'm not sure what I had before. I think I did double check 2 3s somehow. Pluto. Or have I not spelled it correctly this time? It doesn't look like I have. Okay. So here we would have 18. 18 and not 18. So if it's 18, this is 9, which means, and I think it's correct spelling here, which means that it is really telling us that the 9, and I think I did this before in another presentation, so it is 9, that we have to, this is the representation here again. It's my excitement here with all of this information in my mind that I need to put. That's why I need to get it out there. So 9 is really where we pay our dues to the inland revenue. And that is what Pluto is saying. It's like he's coming back to say, you had rejected me, but I am the chief cornerstone. I am the chief cornerstone. This house that you are building cannot be completed without me. And I'm just going to wrap up on this part here because I need to get my thoughts together so I don't mislead you with the calculations and so on. But we see how Pluto is number 9. Of course, I did say 20, so apologies for that with if I led you on to thinking differently. So we see it's 9. 9 is new beginning, but the essence of the message is there. Now, even when I talked about number 2 as being the bedrock, that is also okay, because we have seen that we need to marry, we need to form that relationship as the number 13. There it goes again, as number 2. So Pluto is still reflecting there. In that number 13, we need to marry and get to break out of whatever silly agreements that we have made with other people or whatever it is. And I'm beginning to think that's what Judas was about as well. It was told he hanged himself, but he might have gone and had his kundalini rise. Who knows? Okay, so do join me again on this most delicious subject, most delicious insight, that Genesis that has been taught to us for thousands of years actually have clearly within its pages, on the first chapter, 9 gods, and the second chapter, 5 gods. This is where we have the planets, including Pluto, and we also have the 5 elements that we represents our 5 senses as well, our 5 fingers and our 5 toes. Then it's all of those things that we learn, and God created the heavens and the earth and so on, and with the hands, so hand equals 9. So we can see where hand would have come into, like for instance, perhaps in planting or in Genesis of chapter 1, of course. So we are talking about the number 9 and 5. 9 and 5 is the crucial numbers that I have been talking about here, which is 9 is beginning and 5 is end. End for 5, 5 and 9 for ending. And to make a more concise reference with Genesis of chapter 1, it is really the first word in the Bible. I equals 9, N equals 5. In the beginning. It's all there in the scriptures. I am glad that I hadn't thrown my Bible away, and it is really now my favorite book. Thank you for watching. I hope you too will share the same sentiment. There are lots of gems right there. Do join me again. And if you have any comments, please feel free to leave your comments, likes and subscribe. Do share, because this is how we do it. We share to actualize in self-love. That's what we are about. To grow, to become, to explore, to nurture, to share, and all of those things that makes us better expressions and versions of who we truly are. If you are new to this channel and wondering who's in the back, this is Father Adam, and we of course had Mother Eve right here, Mother Eve, and the template of Christ. So we see Eve and Christ is 5. We also see pineal glands 5. We see the 5 star. Of course, this is Mother Eve with legs spread out, waiting for us. You know, she's saying, come home. Anyway, do join me again. Thank you.